Letter to the newly diagnosed EDS-Warrior. Dear newly diagnosed EDS-Warrior, you are on a journey. Welcome to the world of invisible, and sometimes very visible, rare connective tissue disorders. You are not alone. May you be relieved to finally get a diagnosis, or absolutely horrified to find out there's something seriously wrong at the genetic level causing most of your problems. You might be in shock and or disbelief. On the other hand, you may be overjoyed, relieved, and finally have an answer to all your medical mysteries. You will likely go through a range of emotions over the next couple of days, weeks, and months, even years. That's normal and natural. It can take a while for things to sink in and for anxiety and worry to settle down after a diagnosis. I found that there were many stages and levels to processing my EDS diagnosis. That's why I took the time to write a survival guide. EDS Survival Guide, 5 Keys to Thriving with Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome, which is available at Amazon. When I got my diagnosis, there was no program for hope and healing for me to follow, so I made my own. You can too. Right now, you may feel broken, defective, and or damaged. You may start listing your limitations and mourning the loss of dreams that will now have to go unrealized. However, I am here to testify that you can not only survive with EDS, but also thrive. There are strategies, tools, accommodations, and game plans you can adopt to make your life the best it can be, even with EDS. Learn my 5 Keys to Thriving with EDS in my book. Be sure to find key number 6 to Thriving with EDS on my blog. By learning to adapt to your health condition, you can and will make it. While at first you may cringe from being named a person with EDS, there will come a day that you are proud to be an EDS Sur-Thriver. You might mentally go through a list of family, friends, and acquaintances and weigh the pros and cons of letting them know about your new diagnosis. You might ask yourself, do they even need to know? Or you may want to let people know, but you don't want to see the look of pity in their eyes. Or you may not feel ready to answer their questions that you yourself don't have the answer to yet, and neither does science. You will probably experience an entire range of emotions from sadness, anger, rage, despair, and hopelessness. But relax and know that you can and will circle back to hope again. At least now you know what's going on with you. If you're feeling all of these emotions, that's okay. Be sure to get support and someone safe to vent and share to. Note, parents and partners may not be the best at just listening and giving you space to feel big emotions. So I encourage and recommend you seek a therapist, coach, counselor, mentor, or other professional support person for this much needed release of emotions and processing your pain and feelings. With this new diagnosis, your mind might start racing. Most likely you will have many thoughts about what EDS means for you in your future. It can make you dizzy even if you aren't normally affected by vertigo with EDS and craniocervical instability, CCI, or postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, POTS. Yup, all these tend to coexist and be comorbidities, a term I do not personally like to use. You will probably be mentally connecting all the dots of your past. This is all normal. It's a normal process of processing your new reality. It can be a zigzag line, or maybe more like a stepping up of a spiral staircase where you go around and round but gain new insight on your issues. You might get stuck in your mind with new concerns, worries, and fears, but each time you can see your EDS from a higher perspective because even zigzag lines move us forward. If you want, you can go at any pace you need to. I want to remind you that you are still the same person. Even though you have a label and a diagnosis, you are the same person you were before your diagnosis. Now, you may just have to build up a new version of yourself that is strong, wise, and resilient. You may need to create a new version of yourself enduring this. It's wise to use the diagnosis of EDS to help you make good decisions for your health and to now modify your life to fit your circumstances. You will have to make room in your life for being you. After all, you just got confirmation that you are. This is your chance to go from ordinary to extraordinary. From the ashes of your old life, a new life will be born. You will build it and grow into it. You can go from surviving to thriving. You can overcome fears and move forward, embracing a new life with EDS. You are stronger than you think. Remember that you are alive. You are a fighter, and if you are reading this or listening to this, you too are an EDS-Warrior. It's okay to give yourself the necessary time to grieve. You may feel some or a lot of self-pity. I caution you not to fall into the dark pit of self-pity. Stay away from the edge of that pit by writing gratitude lists daily. There's a lot to be thankful for in the 21st century with modern conveniences and modern medicine. I am a big proponent of journaling our thankfulness as a powerful way to shift a tired, weary, worried, worn-out brain into better thoughts. It may be helpful to keep in mind that others are being diagnosed with terminal cancer and only have 3 months to live. We, on the other hand, have a life to preserve and cherish. Even if all we can do is listen to music or capture one precious moment of joy with a loved one in our day. Yes, you will likely feel the loss of all that could have been, quote unquote, but from the debris of those dreams will be the soil for the seeds of innovation, seeds that you can sow later. You will get more creative as you make your own solutions to the problems that you face. Do what you can. Stay busy, but allow for lots of downtime. Some of us write, draw, paint, dance, listen to music, make music, sell handcrafted jewelry, or knit scarves. Many of us find outlets for our ideas and genius that fills us and makes us feel connected to our community. We find ways to serve, if it's to live out loud and raise awareness. We even volunteer our precious time. We know that you may have days of terrible, horrific pain, or you may have days when you can't get out of bed because of EDS. There may be days when you feel like you can't cope with being around people. There may be days when your body won't move the way it used to or the way you want it to, and you're embarrassed. You may have many unanswered questions. You may have many unwanted, sometimes unnerving and embarrassing trips to the emergency department and or hospital stays or visits that you didn't expect. You may have more medical bills than are fair or expected. You may have to have days of just relaxing. You may have to give up some sports and adopt new, safer ones or find a different handicap version of it. You may have days of being overwhelmed by medical jargon. You may have days of inconclusive tests. You may have days where the test results are scary. You might meet a gruff, insincere, uncaring doctor or nurse who lacks empathy. You may have days of frustration with doctors or medical professionals who don't know about EDS or its comorbidities and complexities. But remember, these are just days. Have hope that there will be easier days to balance out the hard ones. You might come across that one kind physician who knows you and shows you that they do care and care about what you're going through. Cherish them. Send them a thank you email, note, card. Let them know what they mean to you and how their care and compassion affected your day. You may get frustrated with needing so much help, or frustrated with not being able to find adequate, reliable help. You may want to yell at people closest to you or just cry and mope around all day. Your emotional state can fluctuate and range from elation from the freedom of finally having a diagnosis to severe anxiety or deep depression. Give yourself space to process your new reality in the best way you can. It's not what you have that defines you. It's what you do with what you have. You still have power. You have the power to choose. While EDS may feel like a life sentence, it is not a death sentence. You can still breathe and love, and your heart is still beating. Your spirit will be as strong as your will to live. You may have to seek therapy and find a good physical therapist to help keep you going. Don't feel down about needing this. That's what they're there for. It's their job. Keep in mind that their purpose in life is to help people like us. We are one of the reasons they have jobs and meaning in their life. Learn to see things in this positive way and squash your pessimism if it creeps up. Discover sources of inspiration and use positive affirmations. Find what motivates you, or find motivating support people for your journey. EDS can take many things away. EDS can take away many things that you once enjoyed, but it can't take away the important things. You will need to remind yourself of all that is good and great in your life. Your strength can become a light of hope for others. Just think, seeing you survive might encourage another, younger family member who may have inherited this condition too. We can lead a good life by example. We can give them hope that there is happiness with EDS because there is. FYI, when you have accepted your diagnosis of EDS, you will suffer less. Because sometimes we suffer over our suffering, which just adds more pain to our problems. You will have to be kind to yourself and offer yourself lots of self-compassion for your struggles. Only you know what's going on with you. It can be challenging, both mentally and physically. You will have to become gentle with yourself and give yourself the right to practice self-care over taking care of others. Please realize that you are not broken. You might be different, but you are not junk. Realize you are a warrior, a fighter, an EDS survivor. If you need a helpful guide to move through the stages towards acceptance, you can learn my 5 Keys to Thriving with EDS in my book, available on Amazon. With EDS, you can learn to fight but not get hurt. This is done by strategizing, pre-planning, using tools, and using wisdom. You can live with EDS not because you have to, but because you want to live. You can learn to stand up every day, face EDS, and say, I am an EDS Sur-Thriver. Applaud yourself for holding it all together thus far, as best you can. For us, this is no small feat. Celebrate any accomplishments or achievements, no matter how big or small. We are up against so much, but also able to do many things that we can feel proud of. Find your purpose in your pain. Turn your woe into wisdom. Find out how to spin the straw of your life into gold. Create positive, uplifting self-talk. Because in most cases, we are as happy as we make our minds up to be. Remember, there is an exception to every rule and that miracles do happen. Congratulations, you are an EDS-Warrior now. Keep calm, carry on, and most importantly, connect with others. Remember always that you are not alone. Sincerely, your sister zebra, Sonia Zappone. I'm a mother, EDS Sur-Thriver, poet, Kripalu-trained yoga teacher, certified life coach, and an independent self-published author. Visit me at www.soniazappone.com or find my books on Amazon. P.S. Please remember to get medical and professional therapeutic help if needed. I can't treat, diagnose, or provide any medical guidance or care as an author and a survivor myself. Thank you for listening. Remember to like and subscribe if you want more videos and more information when I hold groups, free Zoom support groups. You can find me on Facebook, and you can find my private Facebook group, EDS Surviving to Thriving. Hope to see you soon. Take care. Keep holding it all together.